Hey everyone, what's going on? This is one half of your usual podcast, Joe. Here alone because Mike doesn't know the first thing about hockey and doesn't want to know the first thing about hockey, but I do. And at least I hope I do. I hope I'm accurate on all these. And I'm we're starting up in a few days, so I'm going to basically just give my ranking on where I think each team is going to end up in terms of their record. So this is just regular season. I don't have any Stanley Cup predictions yet. Hopefully, I like my boy McDavid, but yeah. Anyways, I don't think there's anything else much to say. Let's get started. So we're just gonna get this out of the way. Crap. We're just gonna get that out of the way, and I don't like it any more than you guys. I hate the Leafs more than you. I don't know how much you guys hate the Leafs. I hate them more than you. Hate them. I know we said we were gonna talk about playoffs. First round exit games happen probably. You had one off year, you know? It's called a mulligan. Everyone has a mulligan. They're gonna do it again. Game seven, round one. We love to see it. Um, but in all seriousness, per usual, they make great offseason acquisitions. Max Domi, especially Tyler Bertuzzi. Um, that just are gonna do that. They're gonna get first place in the Atlantic. Way oversigned on Austin Matthews. You'll love to see it if you hate the Leafs. Um, but yeah, they're gonna win this division. I think pretty soundly, and I think they're gonna blow it in the playoffs because that's what they always do. Second place team in this division, I think, is gonna be the Panthers. They proved everybody wrong last year when they made it to the finals, obviously, kind of out of the blue, like I mean, it wasn't even in their hands to get there. It was in Pittsburgh's hands, and Pittsburgh crapped the bed against two of the worst teams in the league, which is hilarious. But I think Matt Tkachuk is great there. I thought that Florida lost the trade at first, but now it seemed like a pretty even trade as long as Huberdeau and Uyghur get back to their form. Um, but I think Florida's going to take the second place in this division. A lot of teams in this division, it's really mixing up. I think over the course of the next few years because finally I think I'm going to be accurate about me saying that Buffalo is going to make it to the playoffs. I've said this a lot, right? Not to you guys, obviously. This is a newish podcast, but Buffalo seems to make decent off-season acquisitions, but they always seem to be players who are just getting out of their prime, and they don't really make the playoffs. Now, the course of action has changed ever since the Eichel trade, I feel, where they're just bringing in depth and really trying to change the atmosphere there in Buffalo. And I don't think they need to change it anymore. They're doing really well for themselves. You got a bunch of first round picks performing excellent. Tage Thompson, Rasmus Dahlin. I think they're gonna make it to third place in a falling division with teams such as Tampa and Boston that aren't gonna do so hot anymore. Speaking of which, I got Tampa there, and I have Boston there. Um, Tampa, I think they're screwed, man. I think they're worse off than the Bruins. The Bruins have a lot of cap space in next offseason. Tampa, they re-signed all of their key members to giant contracts, 8 years, multi-million dollar. And I think the trade for, I think it was Tanner Jeannot, was awful. I think the management in Tampa is going to send them to seventh or eighth place in the upcoming years. However, I still think Hedman is one of the most elite defensemen in the league. Kucherov, Point, Stamkos, they're going to get them. I could see these as interchangeable. I could definitely see that. But personally, I think they're going to get fourth. I think the Sabres are going to come out and destroy this year. Their goaltending is especially with the fact that Vasilevsky's out. I just kind of remembered that. I still think they're going to do better than the Bruins, though. The Bruins just don't look so hot to me, man. And what do I do with that? I want to put the Senators above them. I do because the Senators are doing the same exact thing. They always make some as Buffalo, I should say. They always make some great additions, like DeBrincat, Claude Drew this offseason, Tarasenko, but they always just seem to come up a little short, and they seem past their prime. Other than DeBrincat, obviously, who's just getting started in the league, but didn't do much for that team. Jacob Chikrin, hopefully he helps them out. I could see them doing better than Boston, maybe even Tampa. Probably not though. But that would be because Vasilevsky's out, honestly. If they do better than Tampa, that's why. But Um, I don't know. I could see them being a powerhouse in the future, especially with Drake Batherson. He's nasty, and I forget the other guy's name who got like I think like two hat trick games in a row. Unbelievable. Maybe it was Batherson, but either way, their goaltending is really shitty. So that's where they go. Um, Red Wings, another team that do we trust the user plan? Do we trust it? Do we trust it? I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. They did a great job getting DeBrincat, but obviously that didn't help out the Senators that much, and that was their biggest offseason acquisition, I think. So, you know. And then at the very bottom, you got a rebuilding Montreal Canadiens team. Dude, the Canadiens are such a mystery to me because, geez, they go to the finals and then just are they the first team to go to the finals and get a first overall pick after because they suck ass because they got the worst record in the league? I don't know. It should be that. I want to know because that just blew my mind how they went. They did the same thing as the Panthers. Maybe the Panthers will be last in the league this year after that. I don't know. I personally think the Panthers looked more convincing than the Canadians on their slightly short Stanley Cup run, but who knows? I don't think anyone had the Canadians getting last in the league after that great performance. But anyways, on to the next. Cup favorites right here, right? Cup favorites. I think they're going to do better in the regular season. I think losing Sharangovich, they did like a one for one. Sharangovich for Toffoli. I wouldn't have done that. Toffoli's great. Toffoli in his prime is better than Sharangovich, but he's not in his prime anymore. I don't think he's going to do that great in New Jersey. I think Sharangovich, they should have resigned him. But I don't know. I think this Devils team is going to be great. I think Tio Meyer with a full offseason with the Devils is going to come out as the number two center under Jack Hughes. Arguably, he could be a number one on any other team, but obviously Jack Hughes exists. But yeah, I think this is going to be a battle between these two teams. I could see either of them finishing first. I'm going to go with the hot take here and say that New Jersey is going to finish above them. I think Carolina's going to win the cup personally, but obviously we're not going to really talk about that. Um, but if that tells you what I think of these two teams, I think this is going to be a great battle for first place. And I think the Penguins are going to make a comeback this year. Eric Carlson or not, Riley Smith or not. They made another big signing. I forget who, but I mean Sidney Crosby. I mean you got that core there. I think Malcolm was hurt to start the year last year. I could be wrong, but I mean they were this close to the playoffs, then they just lost to Columbus and Chicago, which is just a joke. But in all seriousness, those games just happened. They should have been in the playoffs last year. They really should have. Over the Panthers, which is shocking. Who knows what would have happened? My Bruins too good. Maybe we'll never know. Anyways, I definitely see the Penguins making a big comeback this year. Um, Rangers shouldn't fall off too hard. They did give up a lot to Tarasenko and Patrick Kane, and then those two guys just kind of left. So I think they're going to be worse than last year, especially in the stretch. I don't think they're going to have as much to sell at what you call it trade deadline time. I don't think they got much to sell. So I'm not sure how they're going to do. I'm not even sure if they're going to make the playoffs. It might be these teams here, hopefully, because Bruins that make the playoffs, and then only three in the Metro. I definitely think these three will make it though. Like let's say the Rangers actually do well and get third place. I think in that case, then Pittsburgh will get in the wild card. But if this is the way that it's laid out, I think that these five will make it to the playoffs and these three won't. And Rangers just going to fall slightly short. Right behind them are the Capitals. I don't think the Capitals are as bad as everyone says. They are an old team, bunch of old suckers over there. But still got Alex Ovechkin. As long as you got Alex Ovechkin, you are semi-relevant. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, so that's why I said semi-relevant. But I don't think they're going to be a team where, like, you look at the schedule, you see you're facing the Capitals tonight, and you're like, oh, I'm going to win this game. I don't think that's the case. I do not think that's the case. I think the Capitals are going to do decent this year. This might be the most mid team of all time. I just don't. I don't even know what's going on over there. They got Barzell. That's that's all I can really say. They got Varlamov and Sorokin. Sorokin. Okay, pardon me. I don't think Sorokin can carry this team. I honestly don't. I think that defense is going to get lit up. They lost quite a few of their depth players this offseason. They had the same depth players for so long, man. And they lost Josh Bailey to Chicago, I want to say. I'm not sure, but I know they lost a lot of depth this offseason. I don't think they're going to be that well. Great. I think they're going to be pretty mid. Um, I think the Blue Jackets are going to come up here. They just have Ivan Provorov. I didn't even notice that from Philly, who's going to get last in the division because they have absolutely fucking nobody. They traded Kevin Hayes, or I don't know if he got traded or just left. Kevin Hayes is gone. Ivan Provorov is gone. They got nothing going on for them. I wouldn't be surprised if Philly got last in the league. They fell apart after Giroux left. After that one great year in 2020, God knows. But I think Fantilli is going to do some part in getting them above here. Boone Jenner, obviously. And I really hope that Fantilli and Gaudreau are on the same line. That would be kind of fun. But I guess we'll see. Um, all right, next division, Stars on top. I think this surprises. Actually, you know what? I will put the Wild on top. And this is how they're gonna get on top. They need to accept that I forget how to pronounce his name, the goalie there, not Fleury, the other guy, needs to start 75% of the time. Look, Fleury is fantastic, but he has taken a giant step off in his age. Like there was a cliff that guy fell off once he was on his way out of Vegas, and I think they just need to accept that it's like Gus something. He's really, really good. I think that he needs to be more of a presence. They got Pat Maroon for some physicality. Get that Ryan Reeves taste in there. Oh, and by the way, Toronto got Ryan Reeves. Another reason they're going to finish first. Um, More Ryan Reeves mentality and Pat Maroon. Pat Maroon is a winner 3 times in a row. It wasn't him winning. Like he wasn't like the big guy, but he has that winning mentality to him. So I think he's going to be a great addition to the team. Um, the Stars. Ah, I keep forgetting how good their core is. Like the young guys, I don't know. I think I think this battle is going to be almost as intense as this battle. I think I will give it to the Stars actually. I forgot because also Jake Ottinger is a fantastic goalie and I really enjoy watching him play. Um I don't know. I think I'm actually going to give this spot to the Jets. I really do. I think that they robbed the Kings in that Pierre-Luc Dubois trade. I think Pierre-Luc Dubois is so overrated. They got Alex Iafallo, who is past his prime, but he's an excellent player, great hockey mind, and they got Gabe Vilardi in it. I think, dude, I wouldn't even done Pierre-Luc Dubois for Gabe Vilardi 1-for-1 if I was LA. I don't know what they were thinking. I think they even traded a pick for Pierre-Luc Dubois as well. I I just I can't believe it. I can't believe that Columbus got Line A for him 1-for-1. I just think he's overrated, and I think them dumping him is going to do great. Now, here's the thing. There's been a lot of speculation about Shifley leaving the team. If Shifley leaves the team, you're going to have the Avalanche right here. I'm going to put them right there for now. But I don't think he should leave the team. I think he should stay because I think there's good things happening in Winnipeg right now. Now, back to the Avalanche. Landeskog getting hurt is just brutal for this team. It really is. I forget what they did in the playoffs last year. All I know it wasn't that impressive. I don't even remember who's starting in goalie for these dicks anymore. Like honestly, like they've really had like a weird shuffle of goalies going in and out. Like Darcy Kemper, like geez, I'm surprised he won them a Stanley Cup. Honestly, he's the most mid goalie of all time to me. And then I know one of their other goalies. I forget his damn name. He went off to Seattle in the expansion draft, but yeah, I just can't really rely on their goalies. Well, meanwhile, Hellebuck over here. Yeah, I definitely think the Jets are going to get third in this division. I think the Avalanche are out to disappoint this year. Um, hot take. Hot take. This team got so much better. This team was so bad. I couldn't name like 2 players on this damn roster. Out with the old, in with the new. Got rid of Patrick Kane, got rid of Jonathan Taves. I think the Hall Bedard match is going to be great. Um, they got who they got you know what? No, there's no way. I'm sorry. I don't even know who's in goal for these guys. Let me actually look. Hold on. I want to give you guys a fair analysis here. Let me look at who is playing. Yep, they got Corey Perry. That's right. Um, Seth Jones. Yeah. Ryan. Ooh, they got Ryan Donato. Yeah. Oh, they got Mrazek in goal. Yeah. Nope, they're finishing behind UC Soros led Predators. I don't think either of these teams are gonna make the playoffs. I don't know. I think the Predators are starting to fall off though, big time. Yossi's getting older. They traded away a lot of their forward core. I don't know, man. I think that the Predators are gonna take a big dip this year. I still think they're gonna finish better than a lot of their division because their division's pretty ass. But yeah. Then you got the Blue. I think the Blues are gonna finish behind them. Blues are so overrated. Jordan Binnington is washed. Jordan Binnington is the biggest crybaby of all time. I hate this man. He sucks. Getting Kevin Hayes is huge for this team. Maybe I will put them right there. No, just for the hot take, just because I hate St. Louis. This team fell apart after their Stanley Cup win, in all honesty. Petrangelo and Tarasenko were this team, and obviously those two are long gone, so this is where I see them finishing. And out in the graveyard, I don't even need to explain this one. Honestly, these two teams could be the last in any other division. I'd put them. No, I'd put them like right there. I'd put them behind there. Maybe like right there. I guess I'm wrong on that, but this team would be last in any division, maybe above there, but that's just because I want to get a little frisky. Uh, the Flyers suck. All three of these teams are just total garbage. I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I don't know. I think I guess not because they won the Stanley Cup, but I think they're gonna do better than the Oilers this year. Um, I don't know. There's just so many questions with the Oilers, depth, and I'm a big depth guy. The Knights have plenty of it. Because in all honesty, depth means that any guy could go off any night. You know what I mean? I just feel like if McDavid and Draisaitl aren't doing much in an Oilers game, you're not gonna see a very good Oilers game. They're gonna do pretty bad. So I feel like they don't have too many nights where they're not that good. But actually, you know what? I will put them above. I will. Just goaltending on both of these teams just seems pretty mid. But I just feel like Aiden Hill is who they're gonna jump to, and I feel like he's not gonna pull a complete Jordan Binnington, but he's not gonna do that well. I don't think he's gonna be as good as he was last year. I do think, however, Calgary's gonna sneak back. They had an off year. They totally rebranded their team. Sean Monahan, Johnny Gaudreau, Matt Tkachuk, all gone, and obviously didn't work out that well for them last year. think Jacob Markstrom is kind of calming down. He's not going to be that good this year, but I don't know. I just see them finishing better now that they have a whole season under their belt. Um, this is a great division. Jeez. Matty Bernier. Jeez, I don't know. I think Matty Bernier is gonna have a great year, like 40 plus goal a year. The, they added Kyler Yamamoto. We're gonna see if he pulls a Jesse Puljujarvi and does nothing once he leaves McDavid, which will be fun. I don't know. They were a pretty good team last year, and like I said, I think LA got significantly worse. I think Quentin Byfield is a bust, and we're gonna see that this year. I think it's gonna be proven this year that he's a bust. I don't know if LA is gonna make the playoffs this year. Honestly, I think in any other division they would. Honestly, they might be here. They might be here. No, here. Hell, they might be here. But this division's really good. Really, really good. And on top of that, I think the Ducks are going to go there. Let me say something about the Ducks. I'm waiting for them to come out. Sounded different. Let me say this. I'm waiting for them to break out. I wish they took Fantilli. That pisses me off. I do like the Ducks. As my second team, I would say I like the Ducks. Um, I mean, they just signed Zegras recently. I think they're underpaying the guy. He's going to be gone in a few years because, jeez, what an underpayment. I don't know, man. I think John Gibson is way overrated. They need to get an actual goalie in there, and they need to get some defense. I love Cam Fowler. Love, love, love Cam Fowler, but he's getting old. They don't have any much defense other than him, especially since letting Hampus Lindholm go. The forward group, the center group in Anaheim is fantastic. Kind of in the same situation as Ottawa, but every other situation, position, it's just not there, man. And then I think Canucks and Sharks. Sharks are just a lost cause. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if any of these four teams finish last. Canucks, there's still just not that much hope for them, and it really sucks that I think that these five teams could also make the playoffs. I think the Avalanche could not, just because I don't look. I don't think Pierre-Luc Dubois is that bad. I think he's like like a 50-point guy, right? Like I don't think that this trade is gonna send them to the depths of hell. I just think that Calgary is gonna do a lot better, and Seattle is gonna maintain where they were last year, a little more than LA. So I don't think like the Velarde trade completely like changes my outlook for the team. I don't know. I mean, I can't put them at the same place they were in the division last year, right? Like some things have to change. Obviously, the Atlantic is going to get shaken up this year. I will be so surprised if the Bruins are in a top three spot. I really do think that Pittsburgh is going to come out in number three. This is one of my stronger takes. I do think that they're going to be in the top three. I don't think they're going to be above either of these teams, though. I think third is exactly where Pittsburgh is going to fall. Um, Other than that, yeah, I think this is a pretty accurate representation of how I think each team's going to do this year. I could definitely see this division, the Pacific, mixing up the most. I really could. These three teams, I could see anything happening. I really hope Calgary figures it out because I do like a lot of that team other than Nazem Kadri. Dick. But yeah, and I definitely see these four teams. I think this is probably going to be the worst division, honestly. This or Atlantic. The only thing that makes Atlantic not the worst division is these top three teams are going to be top three teams. They're going to be great teams until the playoffs when these guys lose in the first round. Who are they going to lose in the first round to? I really hope that this happens and then Pittsburgh eliminates Toronto. That'd be so lit because I could definitely see that. I'll tell you what else I want to see. I want to see the Capitals do well. I would love to see another Crosby Ovechkin face off before both those guys retire. It was a classic seeing them in the second round, what, 3, maybe 4 years in a row? I forget ski, but it was always fun watching those two go at it in the playoffs. It was always like, whoever won that matchup made it to the final, won the final. It was cool. So, not necessarily do I want to see one of these teams win the final, these two, but I would definitely like to see them compete for it, for sure. Uh, Compete to imagine like a conference final between Ovechkin and Crosby, but obviously those two names are going down. It's going to be Bedard and McDavid coming up, but that's obviously if they can get those two seconds some help. But yeah, that is my ranking on the teams. I have had a lot of fun discussing hockey. I've been discussing so much football with Mike and stuff for the podcast since football's been underway for a bit now, but it feels refreshing to talk about a sport that I know a lot more in my opinion anyways. We'll see how you know this ages. But yeah. Anyways, leave your comments. Let me know how you think I did. If you agree, if you disagree. I think it looks like a pretty agreeable list, but obviously there's a couple takes in there. Who knows? Yeah, like, subscribe, and stick around for some more content.